Good morning, everybody. So this week has been very interesting. The first week that we were out of school somehow went a lot smoother than this week. My kids are starting to show emotional distress. I don't know how to describe it. They're just a little out of whack, and I am being gentle, like they keep saying. People keep saying, be gentle with yourself, be gentle with your kids, because it's a different time, it's a different thing, a different situation than what we've experienced in our lifetime, at least, and that we need to be patient and flexible. And so I'm trying to be patient and flexible. And I think that I'm being more impatient with myself than anybody else, and that is causing me to be extremely frustrated. So, yeah, we're trying so hard to do things that are fun and different and less stressful, and we're prepping for our garden, and we're planning for the new chicks that we're hoping to get soon, and I'm trying to convince my in-laws that it's a good idea to have a pig. That's going okay-ish. I mean, I think I'm getting somewhere. Now that I put this out there in the universe, she's probably going to find this video, my mother-in-law, and tell me that we can't get a pig. But I'm saying it. I'm saying it now. I'm saying it here. We're getting a pig. At least I hope so. So we're starting to get stuff together. And I've done a teeny bit of reading, and I've watched Emma. And okay, so basically I just really enjoy Jane Austen and all of her books. And I just finished the TV show Sandition, which is her last novel that she never her last novel she didn't actually finish before she passed away. They took that novel manuscript, that half-done novel manuscript, and wrote beyond it and created a television series. Unfortunately, I guess it was a series that originated in the UK, and there was talk that it didn't get enough of a following, so they canceled it, and then they released it in the United States, and a ton of us in the United States are just so enthralled with it. We're hoping that they do a season 2, but there's rumors that it's not going to happen. So I'm very upset and sad, but I'm still hoping that they make the second season of Sandition. Let's say hashtag make Jane Austen proud. And so I finished Sandition, I watched the new Emma movie, and I read a book called Dangerous Alliances, which is like inspired by the Jane Austen novels, and it's a really fun book. And so here is what we have done this week. Well, some of the things we've done this week, and what I've read and watched.
We can have the jello.
What do you...
No, thank you.
Yummy, 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 yummy.
What are you putting in the jello?
Nothing, just jello.
Oh.
So today I'm going to work on trimming up the raspberry bushes so we get some really healthy, delicious raspberries this year. This last year we had raspberries for weeks, like 5 weeks straight, and there were so many of them. And unfortunately, we didn't even get to eat them all. So we had to freeze a lot and give a lot away. So this year we have plans for raspberry jams and stuff. So we're going to do that. And then this guy, he is our resident raspberry monster. Yeah, he loves raspberries, that's for sure. So come with me while I start pruning the raspberry bushes. have a ton to do in the raspberries, but at least they're pruned. We are supposed to have a little bit more cold weather coming through this next week, so I might not weed and clear out all the leaves and stuff because they naturally protect the roots during freezes. So I'm gonna go ahead and dump this out, and then we'll be done for now, at least for now. Dangerous Alliances by Jennieke Cohen. This was probably my favorite read of the entire month. Maybe. I have to really think back on what I read. I think I have actually read quite a few good books, but I really still think this might be my favorite of the entire month. It is an ostentatious story, and at first I was a little skeptical and worried because obviously I am a huge Jane Austen fan, and I don't really like a lot of the things that other authors do with her work when they reinterpret or reimagine her work. But this one was very different. It's not really her work being reimagined as much as it is about this young girl named Victoria who is a major Jane Austen fan. Like, her entire life that she views is through the lens of Pride and Prejudice and Emma and Mansfield Park and Northanger Abbey, and it is such, and Sense and Sensibility. It is such a great read. So Victoria is this young lady who is part of a wonderful family who has sheltered her and let her kind of experience life and have freedoms that in this era maybe not every woman would have, but she's a little bit free, carefree, loving, naive, but a series of events happen that kind of put her life at risk and also the livelihood of her family. So she's forced to find a husband in this season. And so while she's doing this, she's trying to make sure that she has her Austen ending. So she's looking for a Mr. Darcy or Mr. Knightley. And while this is happening, she gathers the attention of several different men who seem to view her in a very positive way, but they're very competitive about it, to the point where you think, ooh, that guy is definitely not a gentleman. But also at the same time, someone's out to try to kill her because they want the family money that she comes from. So all the series of events that are going on, all the characters that are coming in and out of Victoria's life, she compares them to Jane Austen characters and to Jane Austen events, and she tries to project Jane Austen's main ladies onto herself, and she tries to act like them and to basically search for a way that her life can end up being very ostentatious. The story was so good. It really had an amazing character arc. And a lot of times when we read books, yes, there's character arc, like the character changes and whatnot, but this was such a great and visible change. She goes from a very naive, very outspoken, very wild and free kind of girl to someone who realizes that life is not always like the books, and that's not a bad thing. And so, like I said, I don't know how to explain this book any more than that. So I'm going to just say, if you haven't read this book, read it. I'm giving it 4 stars out of 5. I rarely give a 5-star, but this is probably one of my favorite of the entire month. And as I dissect it and think about it more, I will probably change my rating. It might go up to a 5-star if I continue to think about it. But if you want to know more about Dangerous Alliances, check out my blog, which I linked down below in the description, and it has an article on Dangerous Alliance. And yes, my blog is very new, so don't expect a lot. Okay, so I just watched Emma, and all I can say is that when I went into it, I was thinking, how could they ever remake Emma? I'm thinking of the Gwyneth Paltrow original Emma that was produced, and I'm thinking, well, I don't think it was an original, but the Gwyneth Paltrow version, and I'm thinking, oh, that was such a great version of Emma. And I went into this one skeptical, thinking, I'm not going to enjoy it. This is going to be stupid. From the commercials, I thought the Emma that they chose was just ridiculous. And I've changed my mind. I loved this Emma. I thought it was so incredibly good. I don't think I could ever think of another Emma better than the main character. She was so good at what she did. She really became Emma, and all the other characters were just absolutely played phenomenally. And I loved being able to see the inner strife within both the characters. It made the romance so much more believable, so much more interesting. It brought the tension to the forefront. I just loved it. I love this version of Emma. It was so good. So, yeah. So I figured I would take a couple minutes just to tell you guys what my thoughts are. So obviously I'm still reading, I'm still very bookish and everything, and a total dork. But my life has taken a major turn over the last 8 months since I've moved to upstate New York. And we live on a pretty big lot with all of our neighbors being really big farmers as well. So my life has taken very much a country living turn. So I'm going to continue to be the bookish maven, to be maven in general, but I think you're going to see a lot more country living, agriculture, homesteading type of things. And I hope you guys enjoy it. If not, it's okay. It's okay. We all have our own tastes and opinions and thoughts and likes, and if you don't like it, oh well. If you do, I hope that you will stay on board for this journey that we're on. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video, and we will see you next video.